Tomorrow, the Tarrant County grand jury begins hearing the evidence against a Grapevine police officer who shot and killed a driver after a short chase. Now, we've been covering this story closely since the shooting February 20th, including the past history of the officer and the man he killed. We've told you before about the driver's previous DWI arrest in Louisville 2 months before he was shot. Now, this police video from that arrest has been released. Prosecutors won't say if it'll be part of the grand jury evidence, but we know this high-profile case is being watched by the Mexican government since the driver was an illegal immigrant. Fox 4's Richard Ray is in Grapevine with the latest. Rich.
Good evening, Clarice. We have had the arrest affidavit on Garcia Villalpando's DWI arrest in Louisville for several weeks now, but today, through a Freedom of Information request, we got the video from Louisville that would have been used in evidence if he had lived to stand trial. Ruben Garcia Villalpando was arrested for drunk driving by Louisville police in December 2014. Pulled over on Business Highway 121 in a white Dodge pickup. Clocked going 78 in a 60-mile-an-hour zone. The Louisville police officer converses in Spanish with Garcia Villalpando, conducts a series of field sobriety tests, which Garcia Villalpando stumbles through and fails. Garcia Villalpando told the arresting officer his boss was upset he'd been drinking beer at work and had sent him home, but he claimed to be sober after having just 4 beers. He was handcuffed, questioned, and placed in the back seat of the squad car without incident. The officer reported finding a half-full bottle of Miller Lite in the pickup behind the seat, still cold. The ride to the police station was also uneventful. Garcia Villalpando taken into what police call their intoxilizer room. He was given the option, and he chose a breath test over a blood draw. He was given 2 tests, blowing a .29 and a .307, more than 3 times the legal limit. Because of the high level of alcohol in his system, Garcia Villalpando was taken to a Louisville hospital and treated there before being transported to jail.
The family believes that there's a smear campaign being done against Ruben Garcia, who can't defend himself. He's 6 foot under. Just before a grand jury hears it.
An attorney for Garcia Villalpando's family calls the Louisville arrest irrelevant to what happened 10 weeks later. The Louisville DWI case was still pending on Friday, February 20th, when Garcia Villalpando was shot and killed by Grapevine police officer Robert Clark after a high-speed chase that ended on Highway 121 in Euless. A passing motorist recorded cell phone video before the shooting that appears to show Clark with his weapon drawn and Garcia Villalpando with his hands on his head. Grapevine police say Garcia Villalpando did have his hands in the air but refused to comply with Officer Clark's demands to halt. Later, an autopsy and blood test would show that Garcia Villalpando was too drunk to drive with a blood alcohol content of .14, nearly twice the legal limit. Domingo Garcia says the only relevance between the 2 incidents is to compare the 2 officers' behavior.
Polar opposites. A Louisville police officer treats him with respect, treats him with professionalism. He complies with everything. Nothing happens.
Garcia, who has been among those demanding the public release of dashcam video in the Grapevine shooting, says he saw it personally for the first time on Monday. He says Officer Clark is verbally abusive, cursing throughout, and that Garcia Villalpando is cooperating up until the moment he is shot.
Does everything the officer tells him to do. At one point, puts his hands behind his back to be handcuffed and tries to cooperate. And the officer just keeps verbally abusing him. Why are you calling me MIF? What have I done? Can I talk to you? And starts walking to the officer because he's pretty far away to have the officer listen to him. And then the officer shoots him twice. It actually happens right off camera, but you see him with his hands in the air as he's talking to the officer.
Grapevine police have maintained throughout that the investigation will show Officer Clark acted professionally and within law enforcement's best practices. Grapevine police confirmed today that Robert Clark has returned to work here. He's on restricted duty. That's basically a desk job. Efforts to contact his attorney tonight have so far failed, but he is also expected to make a presentation tomorrow before the grand jury, before the DA presents its case based on the investigation by Euless police. Clarice?
Richard, when should we expect the grand jury's decision, and when will the dashcam tape be released?
Well, Domingo Garcia says he was told by the DA that if there's a no bill, if the officer is not charged, does not face a crime, that decision will be released on Friday. If there's a true bill, if the grand jury decides there is enough evidence to take this to trial on one or more crimes, that decision would be handed down a week from Friday. And of course, the DA is promising that after the decision is handed down, they will release the dash cam video in that Grapevine shooting.
All right, Richard Ray live tonight. We'll have more coverage on this tomorrow. Thank you.